Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the big old wide world. This is our second episode for the day. This one's gonna go right. Famous last words. My name's Jade. This is How to App iOS. It's Monday Fun Day or Sunday Fun Day, wherever you are in the world, because we live in the future here. Oh yeah. Howdy do. I hope you're all doing well. Let's do this for a change. Full screen. Holy hell. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. Thanks for coming back for the second show. It's not often I get on cam. But, yeah, here we are. So, we're going to be looking at FabFilter Pro-R today, and it's really cool. I think it's the best reverb app available on iOS, and that is only my opinion. So take it with a grain of salt. You be the judge. We're going to have a look at it, and you can decide for yourself. So if you are watching on YouTube, welcome along. If you are watching on Facebook, welcome along. You can join us over here at YouTube, or you can just chat over there on Facebook. We can see your comments here. So you can also catch up on the show live from the website of howtoapponIOS.com daily, and you can catch up on all the past episodes, playlists, all that kind of stuff at that website as well. So let's say hello to people in the chat, and I've still got the chat from the last thing up here. So let me scroll. Paul, how are you, my friend? Hi, Lady Redline again. Tom Rochelle, SM Borthwick. All right, so that's where the show ended. Perry D, Benedict Stewart. Who else? Russ, Bubba, hello. Bubba's one of our awesome admins here. Good to see you all. Daryl, hello. Welcome to you again. So let's jump in and have a look at this bizzo. So here is the app. It's currently on sale. That is why I'm doing this. It's a pretty expensive app. I'm not going to lie to you. It's super expensive. But in context, FabFilter have been making high quality audio apps for many years. They are one of the industry standard companies who make these fantastic audio apps. So to buy these on Mac and PC, you're looking at hundreds of dollars. So to be looking at $39, the usual price for this one in particular is $39.99 US. It's currently on sale, $10 off for $29.99. Considering $300 for the same, exactly the same app. All right, there is no difference. It is an exact one-to-one port. To get it for $30, $40 is its usual price, it's still relatively cheap. So remember that. Okay, it seems expensive, but these kind of apps, this kind of quality, these are an investment into high quality recording, and they have a whole range of apps from, if I just go back here, I should be able to bring them up. So I have a few of these, but these are things that, you know, you have to buy in moderation, because, you know, don't leave yourself hungry and stuff to get these things. So I actually have Pro Q2, Pro Q3, FabFilter Saturn 2, which I'm going to be looking at maybe this week. Hopefully, we'll see. There's so many things I've got to look at. So Saturn is a distortion saturation plugin. Pro Q3 is a EQ plugin. Pro-R is a reverb plugin. L2 is a peak limiter. So you've got C2 here as well. C for compression. DS is again, like it says, de-essing. And Pro MB is a multi-band dynamics plugin. And then you've got Pro G, which is a gate expander. So they have a whole collection. You can actually buy them all in bundles from the App Store, or you can buy them individually. As you can see, they're all on sale at the moment. So if you do have the money, and you can, even if you can only get one of them, have a look at some videos online, other videos apart from this, check the whole range out and see which one is good for you, because no matter which one you buy, it's going to be high quality. It just is what it is. FabFilter know their shit, right? Just is. So let's jump in and see what we can do with this thing. Enough jibber jabber. And I'm going to be using my new favorite app, AUM, today to show you what we are doing here, and we're going to run through a few different things that we can use it for. So I'm going to plug in the guitar. I'm going to throw on some vocals. I'm going to chuck on some piano. We're going to throw some live drums on my drum kit, and we'll do that, you know. We'll see what we can do with that. So let's open up the wonderful AUM app over here. And there is this screen which you're all probably getting used to now. Now remember, you're not limited to using this in AUM. You can use this in GarageBand, you can use this in Cubase, Audio Pro, whatever DAW suits your need. This is an AUV3 plugin, so you can use it anywhere you like. You know what? In the last show I just did, we showed you how to use IDAM technology to share your iPad onto your Mac and record that into your Mac. You can use this in there as well, I guess. Maybe you can't. No, you could. So you could play guitar in there as well. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject. So let's kick off. We'll play with some guitar first. So I'm going to click on the magic little circle at the top here. We're going to go to hardware input, and we're going to select the right side of the speaker, because that's what my guitar is currently plugged into. And let me grab it. And I'm playing my 6-string today, not the 7-string. Need a pick. And do we have a little bit of extra cam action? Ooh, yeah. So do we have sound? Looks like we have sound, so that's a cool thing, yeah? So there's my axe. Hey, Pete. Welcome aboard. And no, Pete, it wasn't... Don't feel bad about the show today. I hope you're not. By going on the StreamYard for the past show. I think it was just the demons coming to get me. So welcome along. So we've got my guitar plugged in here, and I don't have it turned up properly on my interface. There we go. This will be better. Give it some volume now. That's better. Yeah. So we've got the guitar plugged in. Absolutely no effects coming through it. And so we've got this little plus here. We're going to click on that, and this is where you add your effects in AUM. So we're going to go to Audio Unit Extensions, and we're going to look for Pro-R, and it should be under FabFilter. Okay. And where is it? Pro-R. There we are. So we're going to add this here, and now you can open this up. Now, what I really love about this, more than anything else, not more than anything else, is the interface of this. You see that? Look how pretty that is. I know. Look how pretty this is down here. This is just absolutely wonderful. The display here to see what's going on is just wonderful. I'm just lightly touching the strings here. So I'm going to turn the guitar before you actually hear it, and let's run through what everything is across from left to right. Everything's very self-explanatory with this app. So brightness, you've got a dark to bright, very self-explanatory. So if you want to brighten up the sound, you want to make it a more of a moody dark sound, you've got that too. Next along, you've got character. Some people would say that's me, a bit of a character, but aren't we all a bit of a character? So, but what it basically is a chorus effect, and you've got a clean to the hard left, and to the hard right you've got chorus, and in the middle you've got this thing that says lively. So this kind of to bring your sound alive. Now the next one is called distance. This is just, I love this. So this is your spatial awareness. And what this does, so you've got to the hard left, you've got close, and to the hard right, you've got far. And how you can use this, say you've got a mix where you've got guitar, drums, bass, you've got a vocal, and you've got a piano. And you want that piano to just be like a distant thing in the background, like a haunting distant, like it's way at the back with some reverb on it. By using the distance knob, you can actually create space between all your instruments and make it sound like it's coming from way across the room. And how that's great is because the button in the middle is your space, how big your room is going to be. So as you can see here, tiny little room on the left, and as you go around, you've got this really big room, looks like a factory over there, right? So within that huge space you have, you can create distance within that space, if that makes sense to you. Then you've got your decay rate, how long that's going to hang around for. Okay, that's what your decay is. So how long that reverb is going to linger in the air, just like when you that sustain, when you play that sustain, you go to shops and come back and still ringing, like in Spinal Tap. Then you've got your stereo width, just to give us, so in to the hard left you've got a mono sound, and to the hard right you've got this spatial, nice spatial, big wide sound. So thinking about these three buttons here, you've got your distance, so how far away that instrument is from the back or front, wherever you're setting it, how big the room is, and then how much space, how much width there is in that room. And of course at the end here you've got your mix button. I hope I've explained that nice and clearly and everybody's on deck with me, because up here is where your presets are. Now the one thing that FabFilter are very generous with is their presets. So when you click on this, you get a massive amount of presets, and the way it works is a ladder kind of effect here. So it starts off with the smallest rooms and goes all the way up to crazy large rooms. You got some tempo sync stuff, and you got some very crazy stuff. You got just a basic setting here. Very large rooms have got some crazy things that go on. So let's just kick off without using anything first, and we'll pull the distance nice and close. So we'll pull that to the hard left, and we'll pull the space here all the way down to the left. Pull the stereo width to the middle. Okie doke. And we'll leave the mix at 100 so you can hear everything that's happening there. I'm going to turn up my guitar and give it. So there's not much there, right? Not much at all. Let's give it a bit of space. So we'll turn up, we'll actually turn up the here to about a quarter of the way. Give it a fairly nice room. Make sure I'm in tune. So it's a fairly, you know, basic kind of reverb sound there. There's not too much exciting there, but let's give it a little bit more. Let's take it, you know, just over half and see what that sounds like. Nice. But as you can see, that distance knob is turned up really close, so you're hearing it right up front. If we bring this up to about halfway, the distance knob, you'll start to hear that the guitar's a little bit further back in the room now. Cool, yeah? Let's crank it all the way up just for shits and giggles, because we all like shits and giggles, yeah? And let's crank up this space all the way to the max and see how far this sounds away now. Exactly, Thomas. It's all fun until someone giggles and shits. We like shits and giggles here, not giggles and shits. So please, if you feel the need to giggle and shit, take it to the toilet. on the toilet break on YML. If you don't watch Pete's show, you're not going to get that joke. Private joke amongst friends. So as you can see, there's a real heap of space there. And what you can do here with the mix, you can bring this mix in to about halfway. So you've got a bit of closeness there as well. You're taking out that distance, but you've still got that distance in the background. Now remember, also, we're just playing with these knobs up the top, and we all are playing with knobs. Let's throw in a bit of brightness there and see what changes we get there. So I'm going to turn up the brightness all the way. You've also got this chorus here as well, so we'll throw in some of that. We'll bring back this distance a bit, so let's see how that sounds. And we haven't even played with the widening, so we'll give it a bit of widening, a bit of stereo width. We'll turn that up full. So there you go. And yeah, exactly as Thomas has pointed out, as you can see up the top here, you've got the DSP, which tells you how much CPU is being drained by running this. And it's pretty generous. You know, it's a very powerful app running on iOS, and it's pretty good there. So you could run a few different instances of things just to show you something else. So let's just shut that for now. And I'm just going to quickly load up something I have in here, which, what is it? So it's, I've actually got loaded in here. Ooh, let's turn this down. So I've got loaded in here Saturn 2 by FabFilter. So we've got Pro-R and we've got the new Bleece saturator as well. So just to give you an idea, I have no distortion here. Okay, so remember that there's no distortion plugged into this. This is just using 2 FabFilter apps and a saturator. Okay, really cool. So I'll just click on these just to show you, because both of these other 2 apps I don't want to go into because I'm going to be looking at these as well. So this is a FabFilter Satin, and this is giving me the distortion. So that's giving me the distortion. If I just pop out of the other 2 apps, see how cool this is. So if I just flick away Pro-R and the saturator, this is just with Pro Satin. It's pretty amazing for all, you know, think about all these guitar sims that people buy. It's pretty cool. So, and then we can add in something like Pro-R here. Let's just throw that in, and we'll give it some space, a bit of distance. Pull back the mix a bit there. Make this a bit larger so you can see it. Pretty fat, yeah? So we'll get rid of that now. We'll close that out. That's just to show you with a different kind of tone, different kind of setting there. We'll clear that out. We'll start again here, and we'll bring in, what have we got? Let's throw in a microphone now, and we'll play a little bit more with the rest of the settings here. So let's throw in a microphone on track 1, and we'll go back to audio extensions, grab Pro-R under F for FabFilter. I can put my guitar down. We can come back to that if need to be. What time is it? 9:34. Hey, yeah, gotta give some volume on this motherfucker. So I'll just turn down my main mic. Hello. Yes, so I'm running through my SM58 right now. Give it a little bit more volume there. Hello, yeah. Well, it's gonna be a good day, yeah. Let's throw this baby on. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, well, Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just that old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind, on my mind. Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just that old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Whoa. So that's a pretty big room though. we can keep the distance there far away. We can bring it in, reel it in a bit, and give it some width and a bit of brightness. Ooh, well, my, yeah, oh, scoo-doo, ba-dum, 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 dum, dum, yeah, ooh. So let's go through some of the presets on here as well. Where are we? So we'll go back to full screen here so you can see what I'm doing, so you don't see my grossness. And your presets are sitting above here. And let's just go through some of them. So this ambience. So a lot of smaller rooms in here. You'll find a lot of, if you have a look at some of the names of them. So this one's like called a car. So this is the what they say would be like the sound of somebody singing in a car, or talking in a car. Whoa, well, hey, hello. Whoa, listen to the music. Whoa, can't even hit those notes today, but you can see that's really muffled out. You can hear how horribly kind of muffled that is. So it's got this car kind of sound. What else we got in ambience? So if you scroll to the bottom, you've got like a warm chorus. Ooh, now remember that these rooms are very ambient. So only a very small, like a little small room. You can see the space here is very small. What else do we have in ambience? So there's a closet. Ooh, my notes I'm feeling. But anytime you can pump that up. Well, my feeling says, yeah. Or you can go to the extreme and throw in something very large, like a cathedral. Try something like eternity, yeah? You know what that's going to sound like. It's going to go on forever. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? So definitely there's no distance in that, but that had a fair bit of room there. We can give that a little bit more distance. And let's put up the distance all the way and chuck that mix up full. But we'll make the room a little bit smaller. You'll see. Hello. Now it sounds like I'm way back. Oh, 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 oh. And yeah, I haven't really played around much with the presets, but I mean, you've got large rooms like a chapel, so you've gone from a full-on It can come with the app. It just costs a lot of money. Bubba says, please note Jade's voice doesn't come with the app. Look, I'm sorry, I'm not even hitting good notes today. I haven't even warmed up. So as you can see here, you've got things like dark, light spaces, digital synth halls. So the large spaces are kind of medium churches, things like that, instead of the crazy sort of piano hall. Whoa, now I'm feeling But yeah, so you get the idea. So and I haven't even touched on around here. So you've got all these points. You'll notice around here you can change the EQ of these as well. So when you click on a point here, you get a whole another selection of stuff. Good night, Lady Rodaline. Thanks for hanging out for both the shows. I hope you have a great sleep. Let me just turn down this mic for a second. So as you can see here, you have all these points of EQ that you can manipulate yourself, and each one of them has their own little section in here. So you can change the hertz in here as well. So you can move these around and change the EQ of everything. So this is fantastic as well. So far more options, and then even so this is you got a little on and off switch there to turn on these points, so you can get rid of them at any time, add them back in. And then you've got your filters, so the filters you can add to these as well. So that's all cool. And each of those points that you add have all these little selections here. So you've got far more depth than just turning the knobs, right? So you've got post EQ up here. You've got decay rates for EQ up here as well. And even down here, you've got it with your analyzer. You can change the analyzer to a pre or post or reverb post. So down here you have a whole lot of other functions, like you can MIDI learn as well. So you can you've got a whole MIDI learn down here, lots of knobs, and even down here, yeah, always knobs. You know, we love our knobs on this show. Everyone grab your knobs and start stroking. Right, so give your knob a spin. So down here as well, you've got pre-delay, so you can change up your delay, which is fancy pants. And you've even got more options down here, so your in and out volumes, and you've got panning just above, so you can see the middle knob there has the volume, then you've got panning left to right with each of these. So there's a whole lot more complexity here as well. We can turn off, I've got MIDI learn set, so just to show you, you can change the pre-delay settings here. And here with your panning, you can change the main knob there, and then you've got your panning just above that. And at any time, I do believe, if you just double click on any of these, it brings you back to the middle. Yep. Now, there we go. I didn't want. So there's a lock button here. I haven't used this for a while. So the story with my journey with this app was, when you buy Auria Pro, there's an option in Auria Pro to purchase FabFilter apps within Auria Pro. So when I first bought Auria Pro, I actually went ahead and bought all of the FabFilter plugins. The problem is that you can only use them in Auria Pro, which was absolutely heartbreaking for me when all of a sudden, a year later, FabFilter decided to release these as standalone apps. So I've essentially had to pay for these twice, and you know, we've written to FabFilter trying to see if there's any way around this, but unfortunately the way Apple's App Store works, you're buying something within an app within Auria, so that you can't actually transfer it across to a normal purchase within there. So that's why I'm slowly building up my FabFilter standalone apps. I only have 4 of them at the moment, but hopefully by the end of 2021 I'll have the whole lot. Or the guys at FabFilter, who I have to say thank you to, because they have provided me with this and Saturn, and hopefully they'll provide me with the next one so I can show you guys the rest of them, because I just dumped $1,000 on a Mac Mini and I'm broke for the next month at least. So let's grab something else in here just to show you. So we'll turn that off for a minute. I'm going to pull in the file player here. And if you haven't seen the file player within AUM before, it's connected to audio share. So you can actually select this, then tap on a file, and this takes you to your audio share file. So I can go here and look for something, and I'm looking for something specific. I'm looking for a piano part. So utensils, where are we? Symphony of Stupidity. And I'm looking for, which track is it? Molesting the Ivories. So I've inserted this track now up the top here. So as you can see up here, there's the beginning of the WAV file. So if I hit play, that starts playing the song. So we're going to add this to it. And what I'm going to show you, why I'm showing you with this, is just, again, the spatial abilities of using a piano, because it's a really handy technique. In a couple of my songs on my DreadCircus album that's soon to be released, I've used this Pro-R a heap to create space of the piano sounding like it's at the back of a hall, just for a really nice, because the song that it's used in is a jazz kind of metal song, so there's this jump between jazz and metal back and forward, and each time it jumps to the jazz section, I've positioned the piano using Pro-R to give it some space so it sounds like right at the back of the room, and it gives it a really smoky jazz bar kind of effect. So we'll just pop this back here and we'll start it playing. Listen to that. So straight away, you can hear it sounds like you've just walked into some scout hall. If you're an Aussie, you'll know what that is. Or I guess scouts are worldwide. And there's some old woman in the back who's having an epilepsy fit playing piano. And you're like, what is that? Or it's in a faraway room. And you can mess up the distance. See, I just turned that up full, and see how it sounds so much further away now? So even with the reverb off, and I turn up the distance, you can hear it move around, like it actually is physically being lifted up. And within a second, we're in a closet. Crazy. So really impressive app. And you know, once again, I'm only barely scratching the surface with this, because like all these shows, you know, this is up to you. This is just to give you a taste on, to find out, is this something that you could use? How can you use this with songs? Think about the instrumentation, about, you know, when you're panning and stuff like that, how you can create a completely unique sound within a very typical song. Say even you just got a guitar and bass and guitar, bass and drums, and then you've added this piano in here, and thinking about your guitars, you've got maybe two guitars panned left to right, you've got maybe a bass up the middle, and you've got your drums panned across from left to right, across the toms going left to right, and then over in the back corner you've got this little piano just playing along. So you can really create some spatial havoc with this app. So the last thing I'll do is, and hopefully it'll work, is we'll just close this and we'll get rid of that file. I'm going to open up 4Pockets Digi Sticks. And remember, as you can open this in, you can use this in Cubasis, GarageBand, any DAW, anything like that. So, you know, the sky's the limit with that kind of stuff. So we'll open up DG Sticks, and I'm just going to select this drum kit. And I want to make sure that my drum kit is actually connected. And I do believe it is. Wow. Cool. So I'm just going to grab my drumsticks. See if I can get my camera on so you can see what's happening here. There we go, there's my camera. So I've got my drum kit kind of over here. And all right. So we'll look at Pro. We'll bring everything back. We'll just pull that distance back. Give it about a quarter, about a halfway. Got stereo width up full. Pull this character back. Give it lots of brightness. So this isn't much reverb here, pretty standard stuff. Just going to turn down the mic so you don't hear me tapping on the actual kit. So there's not much going on there with reverb, but you can really crank this up and get some crazy kind of sound effects. Let's bring in the mix there. Put up that space and give it a fair bit of distance and see what happens. We'll put up the distance fully. We'll go about 3/4 of the way, a little bit over half. Pull down my microphone and I'll just play with some settings. Sorry, it's a bit hard to play my drums. If you have a look here, I've actually got my air conditioner tube running where my kicks are. So that was a bit difficult to do. But yeah, again, there's a whole bunch of settings in here too. Just get my camera back here. Cool. So there actually is for each instrument in the we'll go full screen again. Within all of these presets, so if you go into like small, you'll see there are drum sounds in here. So we've got a drum studio. We've actually got a whole bunch of sounds for each instrument. So you've got drums, there's guitar patches in there as well. I think we're looking at something like a small, so you've got drums in there. You've got small bright rooms, studio rooms, vocal spaces as well. So you've got clear vocal spaces, rich vocal spaces. So to simulate what you would get inside a vocal booth kind of thing. Where are we? I think in ambience. So we've got some chorusy stuff. So you get some rhythm guitars, fat, rich sounds, wide sounds. So there's something for every instrument as well within the presets. And like all these things, because the presets are so good, that's always going to be your launching pad. So start off with a preset to match the instrument that you're playing and see where you go from there, and then start to build on top and play around with some of these EQ settings and hear the difference that way. So that's what I would recommend. And now we've got this drum set up. What's this sound like? I'm just curious now. God, I wish I could get to my double kick pedal properly. That sucks, man. Spend all that money on a double kick and I can't even use it right now. But yeah, there you go. So that's Pro-R by FabFilter. Pretty impressive stuff. Sure, there are some other, like Black Hole is another great reverb app, which is something I'm going to be looking at also coming up. So in my opinion, Pro-R and something like Black Hole are probably two of the best reverb apps out there, definitely by far. We'll look at that on the other day, but again, this is some pretty amazing stuff. Yeah. Danny Broderick just purchased and downloaded Pro-R and Saturn. No problem. I hope you do enjoy using them, Danny, and I hope I'm like Pete here. I kind of feel bad when people buy stuff because, you know, money's too tight to mention and all that kind of stuff. So, but look, always, if you've got a serious use case for us, you can see some serious use case that you're going to get out of something like this, because this is an investment. These apps by FabFilter are an investment. They're not some throwaway thing that's like a couple of bucks. Not saying that apps worth a couple of bucks are just a throwaway thing. There are some great apps at all prices, including free. But these are a serious investment that you can use for so many different things. We are at the end, I do believe, because the music is probably going to start coming along soon and telling me to get my ass off and go and do something productive today, because I have some plans to do some recording today in Logic, because I'm very excited about Logic at the moment. Thank you, Pete, for being in the chat and moderating and posting links. So yes, you can join my Patreon. For those of you who are patrons at the moment, you would have seen over the weekend, I think I did 4 live streams that went for an hour or 2 hours talking shit, going through a whole bunch of the apps we're going to be looking at this week. I gave away a few apps randomly to people. God, we talked about all manner of things. So if you want to become a patron, you can join for as little as $1 a month. And there's 4 tiers, and we just hang out randomly and talk shit. And you know, Tom Rochelle and Scott sat with me yesterday talking me through through GarageBand on Mac and Logic. So it was really fantastic. Thank you guys for that. That was cool. I'm really enjoying Patreon. And yeah, you can subscribe to the channel. That would be cool as well. You can like the channel as well. Give a thumbs up for the video. And you can always go to howtoapp on iOS.com to catch up on other apps and videos and all that stuff. And there it is. It's the music that's telling me I gotta go. Thanks very much for hanging out today. Thanks for dealing with the first episode of today's show. We're going back to normal, 1 episode a day tomorrow. I just needed to catch up on some things. And I hope you all have a wonderful day doing the things that make you happy, because you deserve it. And you are awesome. Hit the buttons on the screen right now, the subscribe buttons. Hit the playlist. Hit the floor. Do what makes you happy. Bye.